Hello and welcome to Turn of Speed. Today we have with us Mr. Anand Kulkarni, who is Chief Program Officer and Head of High Voltage Program at TPEM. Welcome. Okay, so I'd like to start off by asking you how the new Nexon EV is different technologically, structurally, as well as safety-wise as compared to the outgoing model.
Okay, so what I would say is we've modified, improvised this car in 3 or 4 aspects. So the first one is you see this beautiful exterior improvements that we've done, including a completely new bumper with these flutes, which is a very digital, forward-looking design. And then we have this CPL, which is the central position lamp, along with the DRL. So it gives you a coast-to-coast, end-to-end kind of a very nice digital and illumination signature. Along with that, there are significant changes made under bonnet. So we have a new Gen 2 motor come in place of the previous motor. This new motor allows us to do a slightly higher amount of power, significantly enhanced speed of the motor, and also a slight improvement in the torque at wheels that gives us better power, better acceleration, and more refinement. Also, it allows us to reduce our dependence on rare earth metals, the magnets inside the motor, by almost about 30%.
Wow.
And that has all put together, it has helped us reduce the size of the electric drive unit by about 20 plus kilograms.
Okay.
Now, that's a significant amount of weight saving. If you say about the improvements flow into the sides of the car and into the rear of the car as well. So the X Factor has undergone a change. It's an illuminated X Factor now, which really brings the rear end of the car in sharp focus. And it really melds into the premium and much upmarket kind of a product that our customers would want to see. When we talk about the structure has now been strengthened, improved, to make sure that the crash performance on both sides is now symmetrical. So whether you have a offset frontal on the left or on the right, the behavior of the structure is going to be absolutely similar. The motor that I spoke about, it has, in order to take support of the motor, the cradle and other mounting elements have also changed. We have a new compressor that helps us improve the cooling performance, not only for the cabin but also for the batteries. And therefore, because it's a larger compressor with greater power, it allows us to run at reduced duty cycles, thereby giving us better efficiencies again. The most important other thing that we have done is in terms of the screens, and therefore we have a 12.3 inch main screen along with the instrument cluster of 10.3 inches. And between the two, it is possible for us to now give a very intuitive and flexible HMI to our customers, because EV customers tend to require much more data, much more information, and at their fingertips. And therefore, we've been able to configure this along with a very immersive audio-visual experience, I would say. And so therefore, those are all the changes that we've been able to bring. And as you notice, we also have a feature for V2V and V2L.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, so the V2V allows us to help a car which might have suffered a reduction in power, a reduction in battery capacity, by giving that opportunity charge. But the most important thing is V2L, where we have actually shown a demonstration. We are running a small coffee maker machine out of that.
Wow.
So and so it can allow people to go camping, use their equipment, use their appliances, and really enjoy the fullness of this car.
Can you tell us a little bit about what efforts have you all taken in order to reduce the weight? If there's any weight reduction at all?
So there is indeed some amount of weight reduction that comes on account of the electric drive unit, the EDU. As I said, about 20 kilograms of weight reduction has been possible because the motor has gone smaller. The amount of permanent magnets has reduced, and it also benefits from more compact electronics and the gearbox. Along with that, there has actually been a slight improvement or increase in the weight, because, as I said, the structural elements, we needed to make sure that the performance on both sides, LHRH, is absolutely symmetric or similar. and therefore there has been a small weight increase on account of stiffening up the structure there. One additional thing that we also have to remember is with evolving global norms, the side pole impact is going to be a very important aspect for all cars, and on electric vehicles, because it has a battery beyond the sill, we need to protect that surface also. So there's reinforcement which has gone into that as well. So all put together, the weight reductions have been to the extent of 10 to 15 kilograms, whereas there has been some weight. This is net of the weight increases and the weight losses.
Great. In 2020, you had announced that you will be launching 10 new products. I just want to know if you're on track with that plan, because you all had introduced Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and what I am looking at right now is Gen 2, the product of Gen 1. So if you can tell us a little bit about
right.
that.
So in 2020, when the Nexon EV was launched, yes, we spoke about the 10 cars. Our teams have been working very furiously on making sure that we proceed and progress on that particular plan. So the Nexon Prime Max, the Nexon.EV now is one of the products. We have the Tigor, which goes in commercial versions as well as personal versions, and then we also have the Tiago, which has been a runaway success in the first 6 months of its launch already. We've unveiled and shown the concepts like Curve. We've shown concepts like the Sierra and the Harrier EV, and of course we've also showcased the Gen 3 Avinya. So all of these products are in different stages of work. So it's work in progress, and therefore we are on track to do this goal of 10 EVs.
Okay. What can we expect next from Tata?
So I would only say that we have shown, yes, of course, I would say that we've shown the concept of Curve, and we've shown the concept of Sierra, and also declared the rough timelines of when these cars would become available. So those would be the next products.
Did the semiconductors issue play spoils?
So the semiconductor issue at the time of its peak was certainly an area for us to focus on. The way that our teams really focused on that kind of a challenge was to develop new alternatives, new substitutes, and very quickly work around that to mitigate any risk that would come out of it. And therefore, while there was a challenge around making things happen at the right time, at the right pace, we were able to meet most of those expectations and mitigate the shortages to a fairly large extent. Of course, now today, the challenges and the shortage has come down significantly, but in the meanwhile, the solutions that we have developed help us.
Okay, great. What's the demand like for the Nexon EV and the Nexon EV Max, and how prepared is Tata Motors in terms of supplying the vehicles?
So the demand for both these vehicles remains strong. Obviously, as we said earlier, people who drive more number of kilometers and who have more expectations in terms of daily driving requirements, they choose the higher range version, and people who operate in the city tend to choose the lower range version. In terms of the production capability, we've also been working on the manufacturing side of the vehicles, and today we can put cars on the same conveyor line, doing the same throughput times, stack times, as we would have done on the ICE vehicles. So our lines today are geared to not only deal with ICE vehicles, petrol, diesel, but also the electric vehicles. Yeah, absolutely. And therefore, with this kind of improvement in the manufacturing capabilities, the fungibility for us to do either EVs or ICE vehicles is really based on how the demand is, and we are able to take up whatever changes that we need to undertake.
Excellent. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Okay.
Pleasure.